But Donald Trump, if you are the one God will use to answer our prayer, come quick and come swift and come strong. Since our general overseers and church leaders are muted, so God has to send a help. I believe Donald Trump is God sent. Whatever you like, you say. Many of us don't even know anything. You know, I have been into politics. You know, I was a deputy speaker of a state. You know, I've been into my understanding is different from all other pastors' understanding. What I saw in politics, you can't see it from the pulpit. God gave me the understanding of how Nigerian nation works. Nigeria is one country but different nation. Anybody that says Nigeria is a nation missed it. Nigeria is not a nation. It's a country, all right. We can live together, but on an agreeable term. Oh, don't let me go there. The most pitiable tribe is the Igbo nation. The Igbo nation is to be mostly pitied. I am not a fan of Nnamdi Kanu, but he has reason to become the leader of his people. Let Biafra be. Let them live their life. Let Yoruba live their life. Let Hausa live their life. Let Fulani live their life. Let's come on the top and just have a union. But to subject all other tribes under one tribe, no. Somebody say no. Say Donald Trump, come. Say, save us. We are almost being driven to extinction. Christians are an endangered species in Nigeria. The plan is on. They are everywhere. All this kidnapping, all this banditry, you think their powers are behind it. I don't know how the president will do it. I know he's a very courageous man. I know our President Bola Tinubu is a very courageous man. He's an experienced politician. But I don't know how he will confront this. Because the power behind this genocide, the power behind this banditry, the power behind Boko Haram, the power behind kidnapping, the power, those of us in Lagos and South, we don't know what's going on. Not where it's a totally different country. It's an Islamic republic. There is no, in all the 12 key Sharia states in the north, there is no church that can be given CFO to build. It's a haram. You can't. Is that one country? No, go and find out. Go and carry out all research. You can never. Church to them is an anathema. Anyway, I'm not going that direction. The Lord will give him grace. What we don't want is war. And Donald Trump is not saying he's coming to wage war against Nigeria. He didn't say that. He didn't say he wants to come and take Tinubu out. He didn't say that. He said the killers of Christians that all the previous governments have not been able to do is coming to take them out. The worst government we have ever had in this country was the last one under President Muhammad Buhari. That 8 years took us down. It was the years of taking us down. He opened the northeast, northwest for their kith and kin to come in. Buhari's main agenda was to turn Nigeria into a Fulani state. Only God delivered us from him. God that delivered us from him will still deliver us from this. There will be no war in Nigeria, but all the killers of Christians will go. All those who want to drive church to extinction will go. You know, they are continuing the Usman Dan Fodio jihad. Usman Dan Fodio said they are going to come from the north and deep Quran in the Atlantic Ocean. They are still on it. You saw how they captured Kwara. How many of you know the history of Kwara State? You don't know anything. You know Kwara is an emirate. And you saw the evil happening in Kwara already now. You see the atrocity, the killings. How many people from Kwaras are here? Kwaras. You see the killings going on in your state. You see the killing every day. And after Ilorin, what do you have? Ogbomoso. After Ogbomoso, Ibadan. After Ibadan, Lagos. They are coming. They are coming, but the Lord is stopping them. Donald Trump, come fast. So those of you that have a wrong mindset, I am having your mindset. That Mordecai said to Esther, if you fail to rise up to save the Jews, help will come from another place.
Why is Ilorin a Muslim? Why does Ilorin have emir? If you Yoruba Muslims are so innocent. If Yoruba Muslims are so innocent, how did the Yoruba people lose Ilorin to Islam, to the Islamists? Why is there an emir in it? Okay, it is long ago. Oh yeah, give us Ilorin back. If it is long ago, remove your emir from Ilorin. Why is the emir still in Ilorin? If it was, don't we know that Ilorin is Yoruba land? Why is your emir still there? Can you remove your emir from Ilorin, please? After you tried to kill us in Southwest 2 times. You try to exterminate us. We defeated you in battle. You are not using our victory against you that subdued you. You Yoruba traitors that went with Afonja and the Muslims. Do you want me to tell you your stories, Yoruba Muslims? Do you want to know your story? That you are the ones that went with fought behind Afonja with the Muslims to try and destroy Yoruba land on behalf of Islam and Northerners that you all gather here today. Or Muslims who gather around and be saying, we want to remove ourselves from Northern. When you are the people that brought Islam into our lives, start to kill us and steal everything we have for the Northerners, you Yoruba Muslims. Why are Yoruba Muslims not like the Northern Muslims? Because we kicked your ass. We beat the living daylight out of you. We beat you very well. That till today, early demumo, early misbehave. We beat you very well. That's why Yoruba Muslims cannot misbehave. They were dealt with. They understand what it means to try and fuck with us over here. We dealt with them. That's why you don't do anything. Don't act like you are better than the Northern Muslims. You're not better. You just don't have the clout. You don't have the power. You don't have the numbers to play that your game here. So Yoruba Muslims, be quiet while I'm talking to your Northern brothers. You are the same as them. Go to Ilorin and see the way you behave there. Go to Ilorin, they are cutting people's hair. These bad people, they just cut your hair on the street. Say because you have afro. Why will you have afro? Islam is a problem. We have to address it. Anyway, let me read from the Quran. So, not from the Quran, but translations. Let me read translations from the Quran. About what this God thinks of us. The unbelievers, the infidels, the kafirs. I mean, how can these people say you are when you have this kind of words to describe people that don't agree with you? Infidel. That one too is not in the Quran. There's a politics, there's a game here. We, the people, are trapped in the middle. Arabic imperialists, European imperialists. Everybody siphoning, stealing, drawing blood out of Africa. Using African people as the scapegoats.
Let me tell you something. Since God created you people and brought you to Nigeria to come and be dominating Nigeria every time, Fulanis have ruled Nigeria for so many years. You are not tired. In the northern Nigeria today, 99.9% of people in government, in the National Assembly and in the state assemblies, as governors, they are all Fulanis. You are not satisfied. You must always prove that you are a wicked people. You are wicked people. The worst mistake you would have made in your life is for you to execute and kill Tinubu for that coup that just that was aborted. Let me tell you, don't try it. For those who are still having such thoughts in their heart, don't try it. If you kill, see, that time had gone. If you kill any Southern president because you want to take over power, the Nigeria will be separated. This country, no, you cannot stop. You did not win the civil war. Nobody, the federal troop did not win the civil war. Let me tell you, the federal troop alone cannot defeat the Biafra. So if you try and do that mistake of saying you want to execute coup and kill a certain president or like Tinubu for now, that means that will be the end of Nigeria. Everybody will divide. The southeast will go, the south side will go, the southwest will go, the middle west will go, the middle belt will go. Then you, Fulani, you will go back to Niger and rule your country because he cannot come and take over. No Fulani man can succeed any coup in this country again. So you better know this and let it be inside your heart that if you try it again, you will never succeed and you will be killed. And if you try it and succeed, we will leave you so that you will rule your own people with your cow. Idiot.
So you see, we keep telling you, Turkey's interest in this whole thing. Of course, the Nigerian situation, what the Islamists want to convert Nigeria to is exactly what happened in Turkey, centuries back. Because Turkey was overwhelmingly a Christian country. It was then Anatolia, known as Anatolia, with its capital as in Constantinople, which is today Istanbul. And they keep hitting the Christians there, just like these Islamists, these jihadists, these Fulani terrorists keep hitting the Christian communities, destroying them, killing and taking over. That was the story of Turkey. That was the story of Turkey. And up to this moment, one of the most beautiful churches in the world, which was in Turkey, Hagia Sophia, has been converted to mosque, but of course the mosaic of Jesus and Mary are still on the wall there, and during prayers they do cover it, So that is a country that has been providing refuge to some of these renowned terrorist enablers. Of course, they are providing refuge to Hamas, we know that. And now Sheikh Gumi has escaped to that after inciting Nigerians so much, after inciting the very vulnerable Muslims, and going around the media houses in Nigeria and twisting the narrative, telling the narrative of an attack on Nigeria by the United States. United States did not say she's coming to attack Nigeria. United States said they are coming to attack the terrorists that have been killing Christians and, of course, moderate Muslims. Because what is happening in Nigeria, in the northwest of Nigeria particularly, is the killing of moderate Muslims, the Hausas, not Fulanis. So the Hausas have been persecuted, but most especially the Hausa Christians. There are a lot of them there. A lot of Nigerians do not know that there are Hausa Christians in Katsina, in Sokoto, in Kano. They've been persecuted for so long. And then the moderate Muslims, who are mostly the Hausas. So Sheikh Gumi has escaped. This is a guy who was radicalized and given the wrong indoctrination in Sudan. Just be afraid of any Nigerian who studied in Sudan. I'm telling you. Just like Lamido Sanusi, as brilliant as he was, he's a radical too. That's the truth. He has the antecedents. He spearheaded the beheading of someone in the 90s, a certain Muslim, for blasphemy in Kano. So all those guys who go to study in Sudan, because Nigerian universities are better than Sudan. So I don't understand why all these guys are going to Sudan. And that is why it was in Sudan that Saudi Arabia arrested him for enabling terrorism, And he was bailed by the government of Jonathan in a diplomatic mission. They had a diplomatic relationship with Saudi Arabia in that regard to enable him, to enable him become free. And for a very long time, he did not go to Saudi Arabia until this year. In March this year, he went to Saudi Arabia and he was deported. He thought that they'd forgotten. So he was deported at the airport in Jeddah. So that is the Saudi Arabia, the headquarters of Muslims, saying, look, we don't like you, some of you guys with very deep records, who are very deeply involved in terrorism. You remember Osama bin Laden, his Saudi Arabian, nationality, of Saudi Arabian nationality and origin. But they exiled him because of his radical disposition. So those were the mentors of Sheikh Gumi. And the media in Nigeria, which to a very great extent has also been complicit, have been giving him room to talk. And the media deliberately stopped some of us from talking. I have a lot of friends in the media. They told us directly that, look, they censored them. They said they shouldn't give some of us the opportunity. So they like giving people who just somehow, just on the mild side, just say, okay, we admit there's a Christian genocide, and they don't go deep. But for many of us, we know it very deeply. So the media cannot give us a space to articulate this position. But they've given so much to Sheikh Gumi. And the guy has started fleeing. It means that something is coming, because they do get their own intelligence report too. Just like the period that United States wanted to destroy the Boko Haram guys in Borno, and Nigerian army alerted them and they were all put in gas mask. So Sheikh Gumi got his own intelligence maybe, and he wanted to escape. But not before he has radicalized a lot of people. Another thing that came up during the weekend is that protest by the Islamic group, the Sheikh Zakzaki group in Nigeria, condemning Israel, burning burning American flag, saying death to America and death to Israel and death to Donald Trump. And one thing that caught my attention is the fact that out of that gathering, more than 50% of that gathering is made up of minors, children below the ages of 18 is 17. Many of them were below the age of 15. You could see how these guys radicalize kids so early. At that age, you are bringing kids on protest to protest against America, to be burning flags and to be shouting and to be screaming, death to America. You see the kind of indoctrination they give these guys at that age. So just imagine when this guy grow up, how he will be looking at me, a Christian. or America, or Israel, how he will consider all those nations. It's quite unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate what is happening. And they don't seem to care at all. They don't seem to care. But we care. And we care for their children. We want their children to be better. To know that we are not enemies, but friends. And even though we have different religion, passion should always connect us. And humanity should always prevail. And finally, what happened over the weekend again was in Nasarawa State, and today, Monday, it happened in Duduguru. You know, Fulanis came and killed people in Sarkin Noma. Sarkin Noma is like 20 kilometers away from my village, Irota, the second village in Nasarawa State after Kadorko. If you're coming from Makodi, you pass the Irota. Irota is the last village in Benue before you hit Plateau State. And Kadorko is the first, or Gedasule is the first village, but it's quite a very small village, then Kadorko. So from Kadorko to Sarkin Noma, it's just barely 5 kilometers. 5 kilometers. That's after the village of my father's mother, my grandmother. My grandmother is from Che Atuma. That's a village between Kadorko and Sarkin Noma. You know, so in Sarkin Noma, they killed about 2 to 3 people and injured others and abducted the Fulani terrorists. And today, that's on Monday, 10th of November, they killed 4 people in Duduguru. Duduguru is slightly after Agaragu in Nasarawa State. That is a place that is hosting the Catholic Church, the Catholic community, the Catholic Girls Secondary School, St. Kizito Secondary School, Girls Secondary School. So they killed a Reverend Father, a Catholic Reverend Father, and 2 other people, and abducted others, these Fulani terrorists. In all these villages, I have friends, I schooled in Government College Kefi. Most of my schools was in my primary school. My class 5 and 6 was in Away Central after I left Jos, in Away Central, Away, and then Government College Kefi and IJMB in SPS Kefi. So I have friends in all these villages. They are the ones who keep alerting me of many of the attacks in Benue State, because these people do converge in their own communities to take off. Like in Giza community, when they converge to attack Irota, they converge and prayed for about 1 hour, prayed to go and kill my own people, But we keep telling because the Muslims in Nasarawa are moderate Muslims, and that is why most of the families in Nasarawa are made of Muslim and Christians in the same family, because they are moderate. So if Islam could be practiced that way, there will be peace everywhere. So many of the Muslims in Nasarawa State are moderate Muslims, especially in the southern part of Nasarawa and the middle part of Nasarawa, that's Nasarawa, Igon, Akwanga. But you see, right from the administration of Tanko Almakura to this jihadist enabler called A.A. Sule, who is claiming he's clean and is even suing in court Professor Gundu, for defamation because they called him terrorist enabler. He is. Right from their administration, they gave a lot of these lands to Fulanis, the terrorists, with the support of the locals, because the locals I don't know from where it started, they started hating Tiv people, indigenous Tiv people. A lot of the Tiv people were there before them. But so they preferred the Fulanis. They thought that they are fighting, they made Tiv to become like the Jews, fighting the Tiv people. And so they hosted the Fulanis in their community. The Fulanis have started going against them now. So that is exactly the story that is happening in Nasarawa State. From Agaragu to Akaleku to Duduguru to Akanga to Kadorko to Giza to Kiana. Many of these communities have been ravaged in recent times by the Fulani terrorists. That they did not learn their lessons from the Hausa communities who hosted Odman Danfodio. And the Hausas were practicing Islam before Danfodio. But Danfodio brought a violent form of Islam. And it ravaged the whole of Hausa land. And then his ally, Alimi, went to Ilori as a visitor to Afonja, the Yoruba Afonja, the rulers of Ilori, the owners of Ilori, the Yorubas. They hosted this guy in good faith, the Alimi. When he settled a bit, he went around to bring his Fulani guys who took over this, set up a jihad in Ilorin, took over Ilorin, and today the emirate of Ilorin belongs to the Fulani. Meanwhile, it's a Yoruba town. So that is exactly what happened.
Good day to our viewers all over the world, and welcome back to Local Journal. It is obvious and very glaring that these Fulani people and the brand of Islam we practice in Nigeria is actually different from the one practiced all over the world. I know that this their extremism ideology, they take it to any country or every country that tries to accommodate them or give them asylum. However, the nature of jihadism and the nature of extremism and the nature of penchant for killing and unaliving, for causing chaos amongst the Nigerian Muslims, especially the ones of the Fulani extractions, is overly alarming. Honestly, the way they are operating in Nigeria and in the West Africa region now, it is very difficult to contain them if these people don't unite together and if our borders are not checkmate properly. President Tinubu needs to rise up and wake up to his responsibilities, because see, instead of saying that you don't have any crisis in your home or there is no religious crisis in your home and then this thing continues to go, it is better you wake up, accept this as a challenge and fix it up as soon as possible, because there is no way we can lie over this fact. Because what business does Sharia law has with Nigeria when we are in a secular country? Is it supposed to be a law that should be in Nigeria at all? For those ones who are thinking that not allowing the US Army to come into Nigeria is like trying to help the country, just know that you are doing your country a disservice. It's a disservice to your country, because how many you are asking the US to supply the United States government to supply Nigeria or Nigerian military with ammunition and armory to deal with these people? Do you know how many military aid the US government has given to Nigeria? And in the end, all these ammunitions, this armory falls into the hands of these wrong people who are intending to terrorize Nigeria today. We don't know all those things, but we are saying they should just help us with military aid. Well, I don't understand why Nigerians will even think that okay, the US are coming to like take our resources away and all of that. How many resources have you benefited in this country since you were born? Even your grandpas, have they benefited from the resources of Nigeria before? It's just a few individuals at the top echelon that are benefiting from these things. So why worry yourself about the resources you are even talking about, if at all these guys won't have anything to do with the resources of Nigeria? Let's wake up before these people's agenda overshadow the interests of this country. This is my opinion on this. Kindly drop what you think about this in the comment section. And if today is your first time to visit our channel, please kindly like, share and subscribe to our channel.